Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to practice on this a chilly morning. We're getting this week the first of those really chilly blasts. A couple of things about this week. One, of course, is that we've had a lot of coronal mass ejections over the last week. So we've had a lot of sunlight, neutrinos being blasted onto the earth, more than we've had for quite a long time. And they could be giving you symptoms like ear ringing, tiredness, kind of a list of those asymptomatic things. If you're experiencing any of that. And the other thing is, of course, we've been working with that energy all week. It's a really big light upgrade. And we've been, during the pranayama sessions this week, we've been really working on taking in that light and trying to fill up the light quotient as much as we can in the body. As is part of the kind of evolution of us at this time. So that's going on, and they are quite large, and the really big one just hit the earth at about 2:00, or hit 2:00 in the afternoon Australian time yesterday. So that'll be dissolving into the atmosphere over the next 24 hours. So I'm sure that the aurora lights would have been really beautiful yesterday. And the other thing, of course, is that it's a new moon today. And it's a new moon in Aries. And what's kind of a little bit more significant about this new moon, good morning, sun, is that it's the very first new moon of the seasonal year. Of the solar year. So it's kind of like New Year's Day in a way, for people that are cosmologists or astrologers. So happy New Year. And it's a really beautiful day today to do a vision board later tonight if you felt willed to, or certainly write down some of your intentions for the year. I think it would be a really good time to do that. We are going to work on the kind of clearing and strengthening aspect of the new year. So I wanted to do a balanced class for that today. So we're actually going to do a series of just really slow postures with lots of breaks in between. But we're actually going to kind of break down Virabradrasana 3 and work a little bit into that. So it's quite a strong pose, but we're going to just do it in a really slow, gentle way. All right, so let's start laying down on our backs. Bad news, pussy boy, we're going to get to it. All right. So have your strap nearby. And bring the soles of your feet to the floor and your knees to the ceiling. Oh, removing footwear on cold mornings is not fun. And then just take a moment to feel your lower back, your sacrum on the floor, and your lower back just gently arching away from the mat. And just notice where that sits naturally without kind of any movement of the legs, without any efforting on your part to move the back in any particular way. Take a moment to gather the breath. And take a moment to gather any expectations you have around the practice. And then from here, it's nice and simple. Bring the right knee towards the chest and hug it in. And notice that there'll be a shift between the left and the right halves of the lower back. And just welcome that. And then take the right leg into the vertical and loop the strap around the ball of the foot. But as long as the heel is over the hips, that's all we really need to work with, even if the knee's bent. Yeah, so just whatever is available through the back of the right leg this morning is absolutely fine. Now relax the arms and just the weight of the strap holding the arms. You can loop the hands around one time. That can be a nice place to work so you can soften the hands. Now, before we start straightening out through the left leg, which we're going to do in just a moment, I want you to feel and connect with the outer right hip. So with the right thumb, bring it into the outer edge of the right hip. So just right thumb at the crease of the leg. And just very gently draw the right hip down. So just press the thumb away from you, away from the head, so that the right hip, the whole wing of that right hip, moves down and balances against the sacrum. Now you'll feel it is slightly different. Usually it shifts the sensation at the hamstring slightly. And you can keep your right thumb there if that helps. I'm going to extend the left leg out along the ground now. Now, both legs are actually working here, even though the pose itself is quite a passive one. Right outer hip, keep drawing it down. If you feel like you can hold it down, you can release it. Otherwise, keep your thumb attached in there. And notice that the action that right thumb is giving, or that rotation is giving in the leg, brings the right sitting bone towards the inner left thigh. So when I give that cue later on, you'll know the shape that the body needs to make. If we can make this pose a little clearer still by pressing the left heel strongly into the floor and then against the sticky mat, dragging that heel towards the midline of the mat. And feel how that does the same thing. It brings the right sitting bone down to the inner left thigh. With both hands, hold the strap. Our right hand holds both ends of the strap. Let's take the right leg out to the right. We're not holding here for too long, but just to let it draw out. Inhale, coming back up to the center. And take the right leg across the body towards the right. So change hands with the strap. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up to the center. Now reset your intention with that right leg. Outer, the sitting bone to inner left thigh. Both legs strong. Good. Release. Right knee to chest. Right leg out long. Readjust for a moment and then left knee to the chest. Let the left half of the hips just gently lift up there. So you can feel that you're pulling the left sitting bone away from the right inner thigh. Let's actually rebend that right leg if you haven't already. Let's just start deliberately simple. And then loop the strap around the ball of the left foot, extend. So right leg is bent, left leg is elongated towards the roof. And just let that hamstring open as it is for a moment. Back of the skull. Let it rest. Remembering you can always bend that left knee a little bit if the hamstring needs you to work in that way. Okay, bring both sides of the strap into the right hand. Bring the left thumb into the crease of the left leg and draw that left outer hip down. Now feel the left sitting bone moving towards the right thigh here. You almost feel like there's a broadening of the hamstrings, a diffusion almost across the back of the thigh as you shift the pelvic bowl. Okay, see how you go. Let's extend the right leg out long. Usually what happens when we extend the right leg is it increases the work in the pose. Now, keep that action of the right hip, left hip descending, left sitting bone moving to right inner thigh. See if you can release the thumb. So now you're creating that action through your muscles, through your intention. All right, right leg. Dig the heel into the floor and shift the right leg a little bit towards the midline of the mat. Notice it gives you that same scissoring action. All right, both sides of the strap into the left hand. Take the left leg out to the left. Good. Inhale, coming up, switch it over. Both sides of the strap are held in the right hand as the left leg comes over. Just get enough for a little spinal twist. Inhale, coming all the way back up to the center. Release the left leg. Bring both feet back to the floor, both knees bent. Readjust your lower back. Let's take a moment, let it settle. And what you might notice in the rest point here is that the legs most definitely feel like they're on line. Now, there's actually a stronger sense of grounding through the legs now than when we began the series. All right, let's take the right knee to the chest and the right leg into the vertical. Take the strap around it once again. See if, as you extend the right leg, you can bring your intelligence back into that outer right hip. Use your right thumb if you need to, just to remind you how to swing that leg down so sitting bone comes to inner thigh. Then from there, extend the left leg out long, maintaining the work of the right leg, right hip half. Good. Nice, strong left heel. Press it down into the sticky mat. Move it a little towards the midline of the mat. And then lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Release the strap and send the arms forwards either side of the thigh. Nice deep breaths. See if you can lift a little higher. Okay, let's pulse it for 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Slowly release. Re-grip the strap. Set up that right sitting bone so it's spinning in, and then see if you can draw the right leg a little closer towards you. Good. Release the right leg. Just for a moment, take it out long, give it a little shake, just see if you can soften the groin there. And then soles of both feet bent, left knee to the chest, and left leg into the vertical. So as you get it up, the left leg, just swing that left outer hip down. Extend the right leg out long, dig the heel into the floor and move it a little to the midline. So you keep working this scissoring action, left sitting bone to inner right thigh. All right, let's let go of the strap and lift the head, neck, and shoulders. Now, if the neck's starting to fatigue, bring the hands up behind the back of the neck so it's not tense in the neck. Hold it here. Try and peel a little higher up off the mat while at the same time working this left sitting bone down. All right, 10 little pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, release, head back to the floor, take a hold of the strap, and keeping that scissoring action, see if you can draw the left leg towards you a little more. And slowly release. Stand the left leg out long, just open up the groin front, give it a little shake. And then soles of the feet to the floor, knees to the ceiling. Bring your strap to the side for a moment and hug your knees into your chest and either roll up to downward dog or come with me, roll out to the side and come through to downward dog. So just get that transition through downward facing. And then from here, just work the heels out, the ankles out, whatever feels like it needs to kind of reset in the legs. Have a look at the palms of the hands and take the index or the pointer finger to 12 o'clock. So there's a tiny little outturning of the arms. From the thumb and first finger anchored to the mat, lift the inside seam of the arms and spread the back. Press down and forward with the hands. Take the groins backwards. Nice. Inhale, come forwards to a plank position. See if you can draw the front ribs in and charge through the belly. And then drop the knees down and the chest down between the thumbs. Round the tail down and we're laying on the belly. Now point your toes behind you at hip distance apart and bring the palms of the hands down by the outer edges of the hips. Now sitting bones are down here. So you're going to be feeling the pubic bone moving forward into the mat. Buttocks nice and firm, and as you inhale, lift the chest. Now, the Salabhasana action is always present in some form as we charge the back muscles and we go through the warrior threes. Let's draw the heel of the hand a little bit upwards towards the waist so that the elbows bend, and now lift the skin of the inner arm so that you feel the collarbones getting wide. All right, raise the legs if it feels like there's space for that today. And then extend now, lift the arms off the floor. So hands come off the floor. Try and keep that space. Try and keep that breadth through the collarbones and inner upper arms, even though the elbow is no longer bent. A nice deep breaths. Last one before we rest. Sweep the arms forwards, palms turned in. Now, as you take this action, feel how much load comes into the back muscles. Super strong here. Nice deep breath. Inhale. And let's rest. Exhale. Forehead to the back of the hands as you bend the elbows and rest on the floor. Maybe move the sitting bones or just shake the hips a little bit side to side to catch just any release here that you can possibly muster. Legs are soft, buttock is soft, the back muscles are soft, the forehead is soft. And just notice those shifts and changes in energy in the body. So from that point of grounding, stabilizing through the legs, just to let it have spread upwards through the spine now. You're starting to feel a little bit more of the body engaged and active. All right, let's slide the hands back for Cobra. Breathe in and lift the chest, Bhujangasana. Now, it doesn't have to be high. Just lift it enough so that you feel the back muscles fire up Legs are nice and strong. We're going to head to downward dog from here. So all fours, turn your toes under and lift yourself through downward facing. Nice long breaths. Now, see if you can, from here, have the index finger pointing forward. So you've got a little tiny external rotation in the arm. Straighten the arm, draw the groins back. And if you can, straighten the backs of the knees. Have the feet at hip distance apart and the heels just a little off the floor. All right, front ribs draw in here. So you can feel that the back muscles fire up, but they're supported by the front body. Walk the feet forward to the top of the mat. Have the feet at hip distance apart. Inhale, half lift and look up. And then exhale, soften and fold. 2 more like that. Inhale, half lift and look up. Exhale, soften the knees, fold, draw the chin down. Last one, inhale, half lift and look up. And exhale, soften and folding down. Nice. Plant the hands for downward dog. So index finger facing forward and step the feet back, down dog, and bring the feet together this time. So normally we do this pose with hip distance apart. Just bring your feet together. Slowly raise the right leg, but just take the heel as in line with the sitting bone or lower. So we don't want to twist the hip here. We want to try and keep the sacrum steady and even. All right, hold it there. Press the chest through. So elongate the spine. Now, can you bring the right sitting bone to the inner left thigh? Notice what happens to the right outer hip when you do that. Good. Release right leg. Switch it. Same action, raise the left heel. Now we just want heel in line with buttock, no higher. Bring the left sitting bone down towards the right inner thigh. Press the hands forwards into the mat, elongate the spine. Can you see the shape? Good, slowly release. Let's take a child's pose, knees down, buttocks to the heels, forehead to the block, to the back of the hands, to the mat. Just rest. So I chose this pose today because the beautiful energy of Aries that is rising is very powerful and new. And this moon has that sense of that power, and it's almost a little bit like the power of spring is what comes forward in that Aries energy. And of course, it is springtime for our Northern Hemisphere friends. But it brings forward a surge of new beginnings. And the particular alignments that are happening in the cosmos right now are giving this surge, this time, a healing quality to the root chakra. So that we're working in these base notes today, so that as we rise and grow with this energy, we have a profound sense of what holds us and steadies us and grounds us and is enduring in our lives. Let's extend the arms forwards. Again, get that index finger to 12 o'clock. So let's just enjoy that little outward rotation. Come to all fours, turn your toes. Let's go right on and return to downward dog now. Actually, lower the knees, reset. Get your 2 bricks up at the top of your mat. So just take a moment to get them set up. I'm just going to grab my other one from my basket. Okay. Now, have them on their high end. All right, let's come back to where we were, which was setting up for our downward dog. So index fingers forward, lift the knees downward facing and bring the feet together. Raise the right heel up. And again, I want you to try that action, scissoring the legs. So the right hip moves away from the waist, the left hip moves closer to it. Strong standing leg. Press the hands down and elongate the spine. Nice. Send the right foot forward. Bring your hands to the bricks. Step the left foot forward. So coming into a nice, comfortable, easy forward fold half lift. So it's a half or an Ardha Uttanasana, but we've got our hands on the high end of the brick. Have a look down at your feet. Now start to prepare the left foot for weight bearing and elongate the spine at the same time. Front ribs are in. Dropping weight into the left foot, just slowly start to sweep the right leg up. Now, you might just work at the halfway point today, so it's absolutely fine. You might take the leg a little further up towards alignment with the sitting bone. Now, from here, bring your front ribs in. Now, can you bring that scissor action in the legs that brings the right sitting bone down towards the inner left thigh? All right, strong standing feet, reach through the crown. All right, see if you can't come to fingertips on the brick. Fingertips on the brick. Just see how that goes. Sacrum is level. Good. Slowly lower that right leg down. Take a moment to readjust. Get your hands back on the bricks. Feet hip distance. Long through the spine. Front ribs in so you can feel those upper abdominals just engaged. Okay, get ready for the right foot to bear weight. And slowly start to swing the left heel up. Now maybe you're just going halfway. Maybe you're going in line with the buttock or sit bone with the left leg. All right, from here now, can you bring the left sitting bone down towards the inner right thigh? That's going to be leveling out this sacral area. Standing feet are strong on both legs here. Reaching through the crown. Now, can you come to fingertips? Can you lighten the load a little on the bricks? Starting to transfer it somewhat through towards the right leg. Good. Slowly lower that left leg down. Soften the knees. Forward fold. Nice deep breaths. Lower the hands. Feel your feet beautiful and wide on the ground. And as you exhale, roll the body all the way up. Now, when the shoulders come high, inhale and raise the arms. Just take a nice big opening stretch. And exhale, lower the hands down. Okay, number 2. Going to go a little bit further. Take your hands back down onto the bricks. Feet at hip distance apart, just in case they've shifted. Elongate the side ribs and bring the front ribs in a little. Okay, from here, extend. Drop the body weight into that left foot and raise the right leg. Just like we did earlier.
Okay, now this time take a micro bend in the left knee. Micro bend in the left knee. Now try and bring that right sitting bone down to inner left thigh. See how that feels. See, with that micro bend in that knee now, you can contact the lower belly. All right, come up onto the fingertips. Keep that sitting bone moving to left thigh action. And then see if you can just lift the hands and float. 3 breaths. Keep moving that right sitting bone down. Good. Lower the hands to the brick. Lower the right leg. Okay, take a moment. Preparing right leg to balance now. Drop the body weight through to the right leg and just slowly lift that left heel up. Doesn't have to be high. Okay, so today or this round now, little micro bend in that right standing leg. Not much, just unlock it. So we're not working with it bent, but just unlock it. That's it. All right, round that sitting bone down. So you want to get that feeling like the outer left hip wraps around and in, like an internal rotation. Nice, strong standing feet, sides of the body long. Come on up to fingertips. Okay, let's see if we can do 3 breaths floating. Just do your best. Beautiful work. Hands down, left foot down. Soften the knees, forward fold. You can link the thumbs into the elbow crease. You could drape the back of the hands to the floor. Whatever feels right, let the head go. Inhale. And exhale, slowly roll up to standing on that out breath. And just as the inhale comes, sweep the arms high, reaching up. Stretch open the body. And exhale, hands down, sides of the body. Just take a couple of breaths standing. And see if you can check in now with this quality of grounding, of stilling, starting to happen in the legs. And notice that as we work this pose, there's a sense of height and a sense of strength and confidence starting to build in the upper body. So this pose, Virabradrasana 3, is a powerful pose of spiritual and physical manifestation. So even if we're not executing the pose like the cover of a magazine, actually all of those benefits are happening in the body. All right, let's go a little bit further with the next one. As I promised, we were going to move through slowly today, plenty of breaks in between. Let's come back on down to those bricks once again. So just resetting. Check your feet. You want them at hip distance apart. Maybe lift and lower the toes a little bit while you're watching your feet. Roll your ankles in and out. Always good practice. Then lower your toes down, get a nice grip on the mat and balance your ankles. So notice if one ankle wants to fall in or out, just see if you can bring them both to the center. Half lift in the chest. Can you bring the front ribs in and just really already have that long spine switched in? Okay. Get the left foot ready to bear weight. So ankle at the midline and then slowly raise the right heel up to the height you're working at today, whatever that is. Nice, strong standing feet here. All right. Let's take a micro bend in that right knee and we want to feel a left knee. We want to feel like that right hip wraps down. All right, come on up, fingertips to the brick now. Hold the right leg, hold the right leg. Okay, come on up, next level, hover. All right, now let's see if we can take the hands back like Salabhasana. 3 breaths. Steady, commit. Nice. Okay, bring it down. Hands to the brick. Right foot to the floor. Okay, readjust, half lift. Feel all those lovely sensations in the left leg. All right, let's get the right leg ready to bear weight. Switch the body weight over into that right leg. Balance the ankle. And slowly swing that left leg up. Okay, let's take that micro bend in the right knee and, wrap the left hip down. You're feeling that you're balancing in that sacrum, scissor action in the legs. Come on up to fingertips. Come on up to hover. Oh, it's just my wobbly leg. All right, let's see if we can take the arms back like Salabhasana. 3 breaths. 2 and 3. Slowly bring the hands down. Lower the left leg. We know the formula. Forward fold. Let it go. Really elongate the spine. You can even swing it a little side to side as you release the spinal muscles. And then on your exhalation, nice and slow, rolling off. Inhale, raise the arms just as the shoulders come high. Stretching out the front of the body. And then exhale, hands down. Just taking a few breaths in Tadasana. See if you can't catch the energetics of what we're creating here. Shoulders are soft. They're able to soften and just really yield to this strength and grounding in the lower body. All right. Going down again. So let's bring the hands right down onto that brick. So the way that we learned how to use a spoon was we kept repeating the action. So that's what we're doing today. All right. Look at your ankles and just inner ankle, outer ankle, get it set. Get the get the left leg ready to bear weight. Check the ankle. All right. Let's slowly swing that right leg back. Remember, you're working wherever you feel that it's okay to work. It doesn't have to be in line with the buttock. Okay, slight little bend in that right knee is going to make it a lot easier to going to make it a lot easier to wrap that outer right hip down. Come on up to the bricks. Fingertips. Woo. Come on up, float. Okay, hands back, Salabhasana. All right, try this. Sweep the arms forwards if you can. 3 breaths. That's a little strong for me. I'm going to go back. 3 breaths. 2, 3. Hands down. Right leg down. Take a moment. So extending the arms forward is a lot of load on the spine. I want you to go there if you can. You don't have to. Get the right leg ready to bear weight. Lift the left heel up and slowly swing it high. Extend the chest. Bring yourself up onto fingertips, little bend in that right knee, just a little bend there to support you. Switch on some of those abdominal muscles. Okay, let's float. Salabhasana. And if you can, 3 breaths, arms forwards. 1, 2, 3. Hands to the bricks. Left leg lowers. Sink. Forward fold. Nice work. On your exhalation, slowly rolling up. On your inhalation, raise the arms, reach up. And exhale, lower the hands down. Couple of breaths, just standing, eyes closed. Just feel the extension of the current now as we build this earth energy upwards in the body to the belly, to the heart, to the throat, to the crown and beyond. See if you can now open up into that crown space. And as we can feel that silver light of the earth grid moving upwards through the body, just see if you can't open the crown up to that beautiful coronial light coming down from the sun. And let's prepare to come to Malasana, the squat pose. So you've got 2 bricks there in front of you. You might want to sit on one of them. You've always got that option. But heels in, toes out. Let's see if we can't sink it down. You might be able to do this without using your hands. It'll be a nice bit of opposite work from what we've been doing. We've been doing a lot of internal rotation of the legs. So now we're offering this beautiful external offering, just to let the sacrum really broaden here. Chest is lifted, eyes are quiet. And let's drop the buttock to the floor. Let's take an easy cross for a moment. We're going to need 2 props for the next pose. One is a strap and the other one is a bolster. And there's, optionally, you might want to use one of your bricks under your head. You've got one of those, should you need it. And now bring the bolster behind you, so it's not north-south on your mat, as in from top to bottom. It's running east-west. So it's running right behind you, left to right. Bring the soles of the feet together and the knees wide. We're going to do a nice hold in the Supta, which means reclining Baddha Konasana, but we're going to strap it up today. So with your strap, go through the 2 D rings and then come back through. So you go through 2, loop it over and back through 1. And we're making a really big wide belt, super wide. Once you've got that belt made, take it over your head so it's now around your waist where a belt would go. And have the buckle of the belt at either just maybe 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. So it's just a little bit off to the side. Now, instead of the belt being at your waist, lower it down so it's at your sacrum. So just use your hands to bring the belt to your sacrum. Then bring it over the top edge of your thighs, the inside of your shin bones, and then underneath your little toe side of foot. So that's the pathway of the belt. Now just start to use the long end tail to tighten it up. So it's going sacrum, inner thighs, over the sort of ankle region there, or the inside of the ankle. Then it goes underneath the foot to the little toe side. And get it relatively tight. You've got the tail here, so you can always adjust, okay? Now, with the bolster behind you, lean back and bring your forearms to it. And before you go anywhere further, bring the pubic bone to the navel and lengthen the lower back. Then slowly rolling down. Now, this is where you might find, it's just too far down for me to get my head. So you've got your block handy, you bring the back of your head to the brick. If it feels okay, so my bolster is quite small. It'll depend very much on the size of your bolster and the what's going on in your back. So I'm okay to get the head down. And then take your arms out to the side of your body. Just take the measure of it. Decide if you need to come back up to sitting and readjust that strap. Yeah, so if you do, use your elbows to come back up. Make your readjustments a little bit more, a little bit less, and come on back down. Now, this deep external rotation that we're working in here is a beautiful counter pose to what we just did. So now let the whole body go. Let everything come to heaviness on the floor. Any position you like with the arms, anything at all. You might like to take them into the overhead position. You might like to take them and keep them out wide, or even a little bit down towards the outer edge of the hips. So I want you to feel like you've got a lot of freedom here to work in the way that serves you best. And let the knees just really drop out here. There's a lot moving through us at the moment as we rewrite some of our old stories, as we reset our narrative. So even though we've got this healing process going on, there's a lot of that mental capacity that's moving with it. And you may have found lately that there is a kind of a mental fog or a density that's apparent right now. Just allow that to be as it is. The work that we've done in the body today, attention to deeply grounding, is going to be of assistance in clarifying that space. More importantly, it's going to be of assistance in grounding and stabilizing the heart so that the center of the story resets itself and the mind can relax. Let's bring the arms down to the sides of the body and use the elbows and the hands to assist you to return to an upright position. Just to release the strap from the little toe side of the foot there and unhook it from the torso. And here, Just move the bolster from behind you and sweep it in underneath the knees. Lay the body down with that bolster just underneath the knees. You might like to cover yourself with a blanket. And before we come fully into Shavasana today, just bring the soles of the feet to the bolster and the knees to the ceiling. Give the back a very sweet little reset. Cross the right thigh over the left and gently draw both knees in towards the chest. And just rock a little side to side over the lower back and over the hips. And then switch it up, opposite side. Again, hug the knees in, just gently, gently rocking it a little bit side to side. And undo the legs. Drop the feet, backs and knees over the bolster, hands out to the sides. And let's take Shavasana here. And let yourself be soft and receptive. The back of the skull. Really deeply receive the floor. And let the sacrum, in the same way, commit itself to gravity. As that back of skull comes to the floor, what it does is it brings with it the neck, the throat, and the heart can also rest. And as the sacrum grounds, not only does it broaden, but it brings the legs with it. It brings with it the contents of the belly. Let the breath slow. And just let yourself rest in the places where resistance has been, where wounding is being healed. Places where we're coming to completion of patterns, of experiences. And it's like plowing the field or fertilizing the fields in preparation for what we will build and grow in the 12 months to come. Looking to recreate in ways that are simple, uncomplicated desires, peace, and ease and grace. And just allow the process to reveal itself. No expectations. No worry about the past or fear about the future. But finding that beautiful middle ground, that rudder that allows us to rest in the present moment in complete belief, trust, and faith that all is well.
Now we've just reached time. For those of you that do need to stick to that, if you can stay a little longer, I urge you to do so. Otherwise, just very slowly and softly find your side body. Allowing the body to be heavy. Gently press yourself upright to sitting. Bring the palms together in prayer, bow the head. Namaste.